Darwin's story as an evolutionary biologist began back in 1831 on the voyage of the Beagle. Darwin was 22 years old at the time and set off on a 5-year voyage aboard Her Majesty's ship, the Beagle. During this time, Darwin learned from and was inspired by a variety of things, including fossils, birds, geologic formations, and a variety of other natural occurrences. Darwin began to notice similarities between fossils he found and the creatures living among him, despite the fact that one of these species were extinct and the others were currently living. For example, a glyptodont fossil was very similar to living armadillos in Argentina. From his observations, Darwin hypothesized that extinct species were replaced by new species that were similar yet distinct. Darwin also saw similar yet distinct species in different locations. For example, in northern Argentina, a large ostrich-like bird was replaced with a smaller, browner bird in southern areas. In this case, allied species were replaced geographically rather than through time. Darwin also saw geographic replacement of species on a smaller scale. In the Galapagos Islands, he observed that many animals occurred in slightly different forms on each different island in the chain. For example, there were 3 to 4 different species of mockingbirds on the different islands, all closely allied to each other and those on the mainland. Darwin also noticed the islands had giant tortoises that had different shell shapes. Specifically regarding the tortoises, those differences were due to the slightly different habitats they were adapted to. Saddlebacked tortoises were found in areas where cacti was the main food source. Dome-shaped tortoises were found in areas where vegetation grew close to the ground. These instances of separate yet distinct led Darwin to propose evolution. He later realized that these differences were the result of spontaneous mutation. Mutations that were advantageous would be passed down to offspring.